We're back for workout number 2 for our February reset challenge. No equipment needed today, just you and your mat. So find your spot. We're going to start laying down, feet nice and close to our bottom, coming into our bridge. So we tilt to our flat spine, rolling our hips all the way up. Breath in at the top, breathing out, melting down upper spine, mid spine, lower spine. Just moving with your breath here. Weight nice and even between our feet. We breathe out, tilting our pelvis to that flat spine position, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, and then breathing out, we roll all the way back down. Think about reaching your knees towards your toes, so we lengthen through that front side of our leg, and then keep reaching your knees towards your toes as you roll down. Working our glutes and our hamstrings here. Finding that length in between our vertebrae as we lift and lower. Breathing out as we roll up. Breathe in and hold, and then breathe out as we lower all the way back down. Just moving as feels good for your body here. We're going to hold at the top of this next bridge, coming into our marching. So rolling up into the top of your bridge, holding there, lifting one leg to tabletop, lowering it back down, lifting the other leg to tabletop. Our focus is on our hip stability here, so we want our hips to stay in that same position as we lift and lower our legs. Just moving one at a time. Nice soft landing with those feet back down to the ground. Readjust your hips if you need, pressing those hands down into the ground. Last one here. And then rolling your spine all the way down and coming into our little pulses. So coming down halfway and then lifting a little higher, halfway and a little higher. Really squeezing those glutes when we come to that top position. And then rolling yourself all the way down, taking those knees side to side, loosening up through your lower back here. Just trying to keep those shoulders down on the ground as our knees go side to side, hips going with us. Coming back into the middle, we're coming into those arm arcs. So back of our rib cage down, breathing out as we lift up. And then breathing in as we bring that arm down by our side. Just alternating side to side. Working through our shoulder mobility here. We really want to keep tailbone heavy, back of our bra strap down. So we keep that nice neutral spine position. Coming into our reciprocal move, so both arms are moving at the same time, reaching fingers nice and long and away from each other. Keeping that neutral alignment of our spine. Breathing out as we come through the middle, and then doing our double arm arcs, breathing out as both arms go up above our head, going just back as far as we can keep that back of our ribs down into our mat here. And then coming into our shoulder retraction, so our fingers point up towards the roof, really reaching those fingertips up towards the roof as far as you can, so our shoulder blades move out and away from each other, and then drawing them back down and together as you pull your arms back down. We keep our arms straight the whole time. Bringing our hands back behind our head now, fingers interlaced, elbows out nice and wide. We breathe out, rolling up into our chest lift, and then breathing in to lower back down, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. We keep that little bit of a space between our chin and our chest, imagining we've got a peach in between our chin and our chest, and we don't want to squish it. So we're lifting from our chest, coming right up nice and high onto the tips of our shoulder blades, drawing our ribs down towards our pelvis as we come up. See if we can lift a little higher on this next one. The last couple of chest lifts here. Really using that exhale as we roll up. Belly comes down towards our spine. We're going to add in our arms, so we roll up into that chest lift, extend our arms, lift a little higher, hands come behind our head, and then we lower back down. So we lift up into our chest lift, extend our arms, reach a little higher, keep that lift, hands behind your head, and then roll back down, keeping our elbows just in our peripheral vision. Each time we lift and reach those fingertips, we want to lift a little bit higher. Really reaching those fingertips nice and long towards our feet, towards the end of the mat, towards that opposite side of the room. Working through those upper abdominal muscles. And then staying up in our chest lift now, we're pulsing, reaching those fingertips a little further each time, staying up in that chest lift, space between our chin and our chest, rolling all the way down. Let's bring our hands back behind our head now, coming up into our chest lift, rotating our underarm towards our opposite hip, and just alternating sides. So we stay up in that chest lift in between. Alternating side to side, not worrying about our elbows. We want underarm towards opposite hip, so we're getting our ribs around towards our opposite hip as much as we can. Working through our obliques here, staying up nice and high in that chest lift, adding in that knee tuck. So we lift one leg into tabletop as we rotate towards that opposite hip side. Just alternating side to side, breathing out as you rotate, giving us that space to rotate a little bit further each time. We'll keep breathing, alternating sides. Underarm towards opposite hip, exhale. This is our last one here, coming all the way down. Have a little rest. Hands come back behind our head, legs come up into tabletop. We're in that chest lift position. We're coming into our crisscross now. So underarm towards our opposite hip, extending that opposite leg to where we are rotating to. Aim here is to stay up nice and high in that chest lift, alternating sides, working our lower abdominal muscles with that leg that's extending out, rolling all the way down. We're going to go for a second round of those crisscrosses. So hands behind our head, come on, legs into tabletop, underarm towards our opposite hip, breathing out. We extend that opposite leg to the side that we're rotating to, getting as much rotation of our ribs around to that opposite hip as we can. Last couple here. And then resting yourself down. We're going to come over onto our side now, propping ourselves up on our elbow, option to come all the way down so that we're resting down on our arm like we did yesterday. Just readjust yourself. We're going to come into these hip hovers, so feet stacked one on top of the other. We lift our hip and lower our hip, option to have those knees bent so our feet come towards that back side of our mat. Just working within whatever range you've got today. You can make it a little bit more challenging by not stopping and bringing your hip all the way down in between each one. We want to keep our neck in a line with our body, holding all the way up into this side plank now. Our aim is to stay up here and keep breathing. Nice long line from our ankles to our hips to our shoulder on the diagonal, coming all the way down for a rest here. We're going to roll over onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hip. Toes are tucked under. We're going to hover our knees, and then one at a time we're going to take one leg back into our plank and then the other leg, walking those knees back in and then stepping them back out. You can stay with those knees hovering off the ground. If you need a little break, drop those knees down in between each, holding out into our plank now, tapping our feet out to each opposite side. Just out a little further than our mat, trying to keep that nice plank position, shoulders over our wrists. Little extension here is to take this into a jump. Option is to stay back in those steps there. Coming down, resting in our child's pose. We're going to repeat that set a second time. Shifting our weight forward, coming back to that quadruped position. We're going to lift our knees and step back into our plank, and then hover our knees back into that quadruped all fours position. Just stepping our knees in and then stepping our legs back, coming into those side taps to a tapping towards the outside of our mat and then back to center. Option here is to take them into those jumping jacks. As we do that, keeping our shoulders over our wrists, remembering we can come back to that step option at any time. Last couple here, and then coming all the way down, resting back in our child's pose again. Just have a couple of little breaths here before we come over onto our other side for our little planking series. So restack yourself again. We're going to have shoulder over the top of our elbow, legs out nice and long, feet stacked, lifting and lowering our hips to start off with. Remember that option to bend your knees if you would like. We're going to stay up in our plank here. Just holding, lifting up from through that underside waist, pressing up and out of our elbow. And then we're going to finish with some of those hip lifts and lowers again. Just a couple here to finish. 2, 1, and then lowering yourself all the way down, rolling over onto our tummy here. We're going to come into our swan so that our hands come just about where our underarms are. Reach your legs nice and long. Breathing in, we lift our chest. Imagine a marble underneath our nose. We roll that marble to the edge of our mat, lifting our chest and then bringing our chest back down. We roll that marble back underneath our nose. So our nose comes just towards that edge of the mat, breathing in as we lift up. And then breathing out as we lower down. Just adding a little bit more range in here, so lifting all the way up if that feels comfortable for your lower back. We want to feel that we're lifting the crown of the head out and away, so we create that space to make that nice banana shape and extension through our spine. We're going to come into our rocking here, so we're going to release our hands at the bottom, letting our legs lift up, and then pressing our hands back down into the ground to press us back up into that swan shape. And then we're going to come all the way down into our child's pose. Just giving ourselves a little rest. Bring your feet together, knees nice and wide. Really sinking your bottom back towards your heels. So we're stretching out through our back. After that little bit of extension work, take your hands over to one side of the mat, stretching out through the opposite side of your body. And then walking your hands over to the other side of the mat. Let's shift our weight forward so we come onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, coming into our cat-cow. Let your belly drop down, look up towards the roof, and then around your spine, looking back in between your legs. As we breathe out, we're going to round our spine up towards the roof, looking in between our legs, breathing in, let your belly drop down, looking towards the ceiling. Just alternating between those two positions, getting that nice movement through our spine. We're then going to come into our arms, so extending one arm out in front, keeping the rest of our body nice and still. So it's just our arm moving, zipping up through our abdominal muscles, not worrying about how high our arms go, just worrying about reaching them nice and long and away from our body. Coming into that same move with our legs, so we sweep our leg back towards the back edge of our mat and then lift our leg nice and long. Breathing out as we lift our leg, breathing in as we bring it back underneath our hips, keeping our little bit of space between our knees for our balance. Really reaching those legs nice and long and away from your body. Keeping the last couple here. We're then going to keep our leg up, seeing if we can pulse it a little bit higher up towards the roof each time, lowering it down towards the floor and then lifting it, really squeezing where our little glute crease is, trying to keep our hips nice and level. Little pulses up towards the roof now, shoulders staying over our wrists, hips staying level. We don't want to drop side to side. Let's switch over to the other side now. Lifts and lowers with that leg, so we tap our toe down towards the ground and then lift our leg back up. Breathing out as we lift, breathing in as we lower, and then coming into those little pulses, keeping our toe off the ground now, lifting our leg a little bit higher each time, and then coming all the way back down, going straight into our bird dog, alternating opposite arm and leg, extending opposite arm and leg out, and we're holding up on this next one for some pulses this time, pulsing both arm and leg up towards the roof, holding them up. Last couple of pulses here, switching over to the other side. Again, pulsing that opposite arm up and leg up towards the roof. Fingers and toes reaching long and away from each other. Coming all the way down. We're going to do those little pulses with our arms. So reach one arm long, pulsing it up towards the roof. And switching over to the other side, pulsing it a little higher towards the roof each time, zipping up through our belly. And then we're going to sit ourselves back into our child's pose. Coming into our second round of those exercises, so starting with those arm stretches, reaching one arm out in front of us, reaching fingertips nice and long, alternating sides, using your exhale as you reach your arm long, and then inhale as you bring it back underneath your shoulder, looking just forward in front of the edge of your mat, zipping up a tight pair of jeans so our belly is gently pulling in towards our spine. Adding in our legs now, so we reach our leg nice and long, alternating sides, knee coming back underneath our hips. Imagine we've got 5 glasses, one on each of our hips, one on each of our shoulders, and one on our head. We're trying to keep them nice and still as we move. Just alternating sides here, really reaching those toes nice and long and away, the rest of our body staying still so those imaginary glasses aren't moving. We're going to come into those leg lifts shortly. On your next one, extend your leg back, hold it there, and then lift and lower, tapping your toe down towards the floor and then lifting that leg up. Staying on this same side. Thinking about those 5 glasses, keeping our hips level. Little pulses now, so we're not tapping down towards the floor, lifting a little higher each time. And then bringing that knee down, switching to the other side, starting with those lifts and lowers. So we tap our toe down to the ground and then lift our leg up. Really squeezing our glute as we lift. Good. Coming into those little pulses. So toes not touching the ground now, staying up, lifting a little higher each time, really squeezing your glutes, lowering down, coming into that opposite arm and leg, our bird dog move, reaching fingers and toes long and away. Keeping that stability through our hips and our shoulders, pressing up and out of our hands, looking just forward to the front edge of your mat. Holding up now, pulsing arm and leg at the same time. Keep breathing here, switching to the other side, lifting and holding up for that little pulse. 3, 2, 1, and then coming all the way down. Just our arms now, holding up little pulses up towards the roof, so we're pulsing our thumb a little higher each time. Switching to the other side. Keep pulsing that arm up a little higher, and then we sit back into our child's pose. Shifting our weight forward, we're going to come into our mermaid. So in our Z-sit position, reaching our arm up and over, alternating sides, imagining our whole body is between 2 panes of glass. So our head tilts over, our arm reaches nice and long over, sit bones anchoring down into the ground. Option is to have our legs sitting cross-legged, or you can extend your legs out nice and long in front of you, whatever feels good for you if that Z-sit position is not working for your hips or your knees. We're going to switch over to the other side. If you're doing our Z-sit option, using our exhale as we come over to the side, inhale as you come up through the middle, and then exhale as you come over to the other side. Just alternating in time with your breath. Coming to your cross-legged position now, or legs out nice and long if that feels comfortable for you. We're going to finish today with some breathing. So just close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Notice how your breath is feeling after our little movement today. Just trying to slow down our breath. Taking nice, long, deep breaths. Using each exhale to try and relax your body. Relaxing your head and your jaw. Relaxing your shoulders and your arms. Relaxing your back. And relaxing your hips and your legs. Thank you for joining in this workout today. We'll see you back for next week's workout.